Hello, guys. Thanks for joining me again. Georgia, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, I have Georgia Heine on from Manasquan High School, sophomore. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Um, get started. Uh, Talk about how you've been handling the virus. Whether it's schoolwork and staying on top of your basketball game.
Yeah, it definitely took some getting used to at first, but once I got like a routine down, things got better. I have to be on the computer from 9 to 2:30 every day, meeting with my teachers on video chat. So I usually do all my schoolwork, then I'll work out after that. I've been training with like a couple different trainers every day, along with like my AU team doing strength and conditioning workouts and just doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's great. I see all these trainers are doing the virtual training. It's good that it's good to have that option. Now I know when this first started, everyone head scratching, what was going to be done. But I see, Tiny does his training, Gary
Mhm.
Litton. I see the New Jersey Bells do training, so it's good. When did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball in kindergarten, but at the time it was like only rec basketball, playing like doing drills and playing some games. But then I started playing mid Monmouth and also AU for the short shots in fourth grade.
Okay. Any other sports you played when you were younger?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I couldn't hear
Uh,
you.
any other sports you played when you were younger?
Oh yeah, I played softball and soccer throughout elementary and middle school. But I stopped playing softball around sixth or seventh grade, and then I continued soccer until eighth grade, and I also did swim and cross country.
Oh wow. So you got your hand in a lot of different things
Yeah.
when you were younger. I know
Hmm.
times have changed. It's harder to do multiple sports these days. Where
Yeah.
basketball's year round, soccer's year round. How old were you when you realized you wanted basketball to be your sport?
It was probably fourth grade when I realized that basketball is really the sport. Um, I really liked soccer and softball, Um, but basketball just kind of felt different. And at the time, I was probably better at the other sports. I wasn't very good at basketball, but it didn't really matter to me because I loved basketball so much.
I mean, that's good. That shows the hard work you've put in through the years. To be at the level you are now. Any siblings play? Do you have any siblings, and do they play any sports?
Yeah, I have an older brother who is 19, but he doesn't play sports, but he is an EMT, a volunteer firefighter, and he's also a class 1 police officer.
Oh,
And
wow.
then I have two younger sisters. One's 13 and one's 11. They both play basketball as well. Shannon plays AU, but my other sister, Mary Jane, kind of just plays for fun.
Okay. I mean, she's still young. She might change her mind.
Yeah.
How have your parents helped in your development?
My mom and my dad are my role models and my biggest supporters. And without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. They give up their time day in and day out to drive me around from practice to practice. And I know that basketball is not a cheap sport to play, especially with all the traveling we do. So without them, I couldn't have any of these opportunities.
Yeah, I talk to some parents. I talk to your mother quite often. It's amazing how much AAU. You guys travel all around the country for these tournaments,
Yeah.
and it's to add up. Growing up and now, who are some of the trainers you've used? Because I know trainers are the key to developing players these days.
Yeah, I've trained with a lot of different people. I trained with Tiny Green since I was in fourth grade, and he's impacted me so much throughout the years. I spend a lot of time with him at MBS, so on the weekends I usually like get up and shoot with him at 7, and then stay for two 1.5 hour sessions. Um, so he really helped me so much and like puts a lot of time in with me. I used to train with Bryce Stanhope, who is an I'm Possible trainer, but then he got this like great opportunity to train NBA players, and so he left for Florida before going to Michigan. So once he left, I started working with Zach Leach at I'm Possible for a little bit. I also train with Larry Smith, who helps me with like different moves that I can use in games. And then Joe Whalen has also really helped me with my like pace of play, and he's taught me how to get out in transition, among a lot of other things.
Yeah. It seems like everybody in the area trains with Tiny, so you're getting some really good competition when you're going there.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. Who are some of the players that you train with?
I train with a lot of different players from like around the shore. A lot of them are really, really good players. Like I train with Allison Waters, who goes to Manasquan with me. A lot of the RBC girls, like Justine Passat, like the Sabinos, Fab Eggenschweiler, also like Grace Munt, Allie Carmen, just like a bunch of great players.
Yeah, a lot of potential all-shore players next season, right there.
Yeah.
Entering high school, what were some goals you had?
Since we had such a great program at Manasquan, the bar was set really high, and I knew going in that after the first year, once like Faith and Lola were gone, people were gonna like count us out, and they would say that we had like lost all our stars and that we were young. So I told myself, coming in, that I had to work really hard day in and day out to become as good as those players in the past that led Manasquan to championships. Another goal of mine was um, to earn a starting spot on the team, and move on from there, because there were so many other talented players that were fighting for that spot. So I knew that I had to work really hard to get that. But my main goal overall over the 4 years is to lead the team like great players in the past, and also hopefully one day win the TOC.
That's great. You guys definitely, next year, um, nobody's going to be overlooking your team next year. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the goals? You talked about goals you had for the 4 years. What were some of your goals you had, for just your freshman year?
Freshman year was a really big year for me. I knew coming in that there were a lot of talented girls that would be fighting for a starting spot on the team. So that was a big goal of mine, to work as hard as I could to get that spot. And also, another goal I had was to learn from Faith and Lola, not only in game situations, but also like how to become a better leader.
Those are two great players to learn that from.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go over some highlights you had your freshman year?
Some highlights I had were winning Central Jersey Group 2. Like I said, earning a starting spot on the team, being named to the Hoop Group All Freshman team, and also just getting to be able to play in big time games with big players to gain experience.
Yeah, there's nothing like a freshman starting for the Manasquan St. Rose rivalry, whether you're starting for St. Rose or Manasquan.
Yeah.
It doesn't get bigger than that.
Yeah.
You brought up Faith and Lola. What are some things you learned, and what was it like playing with those talented seniors?
Both of them taught me how to become a leader among a lot of other aspects on and off the court. Faith helped me to be strong physically and mentally, and to play with a competitive edge. Lola helped me all around to play to the best of my ability all the time. I personally spent a lot of time with Lola because she would drive me to hoop group every day after school so we could shoot with Tiny or shoot on our own. So she really helped me, and we still talk every once in a while.
That's great. I got to see her play Harvard versus Princeton. It was a fun experience. Entering your sophomore year, what were some goals you had?
Some goals I had were to win Central Jersey Group 2, step up as a leader, become a better teammate on and off the court, and also just to become more strong and physical.
I know the media didn't got write you off, but the expectations last season weren't as high as they were in years past,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't get the respect, out of the gate, but you quickly earned it. Now, when I saw you guys play Manchester in the preseason,
Mm-hmm.
I felt different. I thought, this team was going to be strong, especially it seemed like everybody was getting involved with, in the offense. Everyone was touching the ball, and it was really nice to watch. And then early on in the season, even the Rumson game, the home game when you guys lost
Mm-hmm.
by one, I think it was right. it was a great game. You guys were down early, for a young team, and you battled back. You didn't give up.
Hmm.
Uh, what were How did it feel actually winning Group 2? You guys were the 2 seed, probably the first time in a long time,
Hmm.
and went up to Rumson and beat them. How did it feel winning Group 2, being with such a young team?
It felt so amazing because in the beginning of the season, we lost to Rumson by 1 point. And so moving on from there, we knew we would see them at least one more time in regular season and then most likely in states. So after we lost that game, I felt like it really fueled our fire, and because Rumson is a very good team with so many talented players, so we knew we would have to work hard to win that game eventually. And it was a big goal of ours, not only to redeem ourselves from the first time we played Rumson, but also because Manasquan had won Central Jersey Group 2 6 years in a row prior to that, so we weren't going to be the team to lose that streak.
Yeah. How was it playing with your classmates, Brooke, Mary, and Dorothy?
I love playing with them. They're all amazing players and the best teammates. What I love most about playing with them is that we all have different roles and can step up big in different like big moments, and we all understand that about one another. One game Brooke might like score a lot, but she still recognizes everything that everyone else does on the court. And then like the next game, it might be Mary, it might be Dorothy, or it might be me that plays really well. But no matter what, we understand that we can't win games unless we play together. And I love how we are all so close.
Yeah, that's good. One of the things that impressed me throughout the season was you, Mary, and Dorothy. You're probably considered the bigs,
Mm-hmm.
forwards and centers. But your three's passing so crisp. One of the best stats I like. You led the team in assists last season, which is impressive. And Mary and Dorothy were up there as well. Um, it's such an advantage when your center and your forwards could pass like you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see. Can you talk about the upperclassmen a little bit and how they helped you guys through the season? Maddie and Allison
Yeah.
and Macy.
Maddie was a great leader, and she really helped to push everyone at all times. She was always challenging everyone to be the best that they can. And Allison also did a great job leading us and helping us to stay together. The two of them, along with Macy Black, were always dancing in the locker room and just making everyone laugh. So it was a lot of fun playing with them. And Cam Rothery was another one of our captains, and she taught me a lot beyond the court. She taught me how to become like a better person because she's so giving, and she's also always smiling.
Yeah, I see Cam does a lot of things with her time trying to help others. It's
Mm-hmm.
really great. Going back to you, Mary and Dorothy, how, what makes you guys, or how does it feel that you three are such good passers? For being the taller ones on the team.
Yeah, it's really crazy being considered the bigs on the team because none of us, I would say, are really a traditional post player. So during the season, we all got moved in and out of like different spots. And the passing between the three of us just felt very natural, I would say. I've played against Dorothy and Mary since we were little. So when we started playing together, it was really crazy how we all passed so well. Dorothy was great in getting the ball out in transition, and Mary would always just make that extra pass that we needed. And then I would like uh, do like a pocket pass when their defender stepped up on me in the paint. So connecting on our passes was a great addition to everything else we did on the court.
Yeah, that was probably one of the reasons why it was so fun watching you guys this past season. Talk about a little bit about Coach Litsa. I thought she did a great job. How is it playing for her?
I absolutely love playing for her. Ever since I was little, like I knew that I wanted to go to Manasquan. Like it didn't matter what anybody else said. Some people wanted me to go to different schools, but I knew that I wanted to go to Manasquan and play for her because she is so nice and she's always like just thinking about the team and what's best for us.
Yeah. Entering your junior season, what are some goals you have?
Next year I want to become more of a leader. Um, My goal is really like a team goal. I want to win Central Jersey Group 2 again. But I also want to increase my shooting range because I've been working on getting stronger along with other parts of my game to improve on for next year.
I think Group 2 is definitely doable, and won't mind seeing another rematch against Manchester in the semis for Group
Yeah.
2. How about your senior year? I know that there's a part of you away, but
Mm-hmm.
any goals you have for senior year?
Senior year, I think our team could win it all. I think we have the potential to go really far, and I'm excited for what it's going to look like.
Yeah, I know you guys have a couple good eighth graders coming in
Mm-hmm.
next year. So, Manasquan's going to be, you know, right there, chasing St. John Vianney.
Yeah.
I could see you guys 2 or 3, you guys at Manchester, probably the next 2 teams behind St. John Vianney.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about AAU a little bit. Who are some of the teams you played for AAU?
So I played for the Sure Shots from 4th to 8th grade, and last year I joined Team Rio, and I'm still playing with them.
Okay. Who are some of your coaches with Sure Shots and then coaches for Team Rio?
So my Sure Shot coaches were Jim Passat and also my mom. They both really helped me develop so much, and they taught me a lot. They both like still coach me and like support me so much from the sidelines, no matter what. My current coaches for Rio are Caitlin Linney and Shannon Coyle, both of which really helped me this past year, and I'm so excited for what's to come with them. Coach Linney always joins in on our pickup games during practice, which is really great because she is like a really strong competitor. And Coach Coyle, she brings so much to the table with her IQ of the game, among everything else.
That's great. And Coach Coyle did a great job with Long Branch this past season. They came out of nowhere. Who are some teammates you play with?
I played with for Sure Shots, so I played with like Charlie Rosen, uh Haven Dora, Gia Passat, Darby Sherman, Nene Young, um, and a lot of other players. And then for Rio, I played with Ryan Taylor, Lexi Linton, Meg Cahalan, um, and just like so many great players. Like they're all my best friends on and off the court, and without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. And yeah.
You talk about being best friends on and off the court. I even see the parents. Even you guys played against Lexi
Mm-hmm.
in the South versus Jersey, South First Shore day, and even parents. Your mom joking with
Yeah.
Gary. It's good to see, and Gary giving support. I always see Gary. He went up to Jackson a few times, even when his daughter's team played against them. He was still, cheering on Christina, which is great to see. Talk about your feelings about, well, this ain't your final AAU season, but talk about your feeling with AAU being delayed.
It definitely stinks not being able to play in July, but I'm fortunate to still have one more year. But I hate the fact that I may not get to spend the last season with the juniors who I'm also close with. It's hard not being able to travel with all of them and get the exposure in front of coaches. But on the bright side, I get to work on my game and improve in so many different aspects on the court that at the time of next year, like I'll be ready for it.
Yeah, speaking with Jordan and Emma, AAU, when you guys travel, you guys bond,
Mm-hmm.
become best friends. It's a really good time. For your future, do you have any idea, after high school, what you want to be, or what major?
Yeah, so I'm really interested in physical therapy. And at Manasquan, we have academies that you can take college level classes and tests for. So I'm taking classes to become a part of the Academy of Health careers. So I've taken a couple of those classes, which give me the opportunity to take a Rutgers test, which I can get college credits for. And so those credits can be like transferred to different colleges.
Wow, that's impressive. How are your grades?
They're pretty good. They're all A's.
Oh, that's good. When you were a little kid, what was your dream to be when you grew up?
Ever since I was little, I dreamed of playing basketball in college. I grew up watching the Mabrys among all the other great players at Manasquan and knew that I wanted to be just like them. So watching them in games, but like specifically the TOC, I remember just being like, that's what I want to do. I want to win the TOC. I want to be as good as them to go play in college. And so ever since then, I've just been working really hard towards that goal.
Before we wrap up, any advice you could give, little kids that you might give, say, your sisters that, if they want to get better and pursue basketball?
Yeah, I just tell them to keep working as hard as they can, no matter what happens, no matter like what life throws at you, just keep pushing because it's whatever your heart is set on, whatever goal you want to reach, it's so worth it once you finally get there that the reward is just so great.
That's excellent advice. Well, thank you for joining me, Georgia,
Thank you
and
for having me.
look forward to seeing you on the courts very soon.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
You too.